so glad you're here. Today, we are talking about market research and really updating your market research strategy, because here's the thing, I get it. You feel like no one's answering your market research, and chances are, part of it's the questions you're asking, part of it's the language that you're using, and honestly, part of it is that you're just not doing it enough. When it comes to market research and to really be effective with it, it needs to be a part of your business plan that you do at least once a quarter, but definitely before you release anything. A freebie, a tripwire, a course, a challenge group. Literally, you need to do market research before each one, because your ideal client and their needs can shift, especially needs and wants. They shift frequently. So the most important thing when it comes to market research, and I know you listening right now, you might be like, what is market research? This is a research portion of business strategy in which you want to figure out, and you need to figure out, what is it that people want, when do they want it, and how do they want it? And another reason why this is so powerful is because market research allows us to get the language that we need to use in our copywriting. Because copywriting is only as powerful as the language that you use. And if you're not using terminology and phrases and language that your audience is using, talking and communicating with, or thinking about, what's going to happen is your invites and your pitching is not going to be effective. And if you want to be effective in your pitching, this is the way to do it. So with market research, there are a few main ways to really get market research, and I'm going to talk about my favorite ones. The first one is going to be posting on stories, either doing quizzes, polls, or the question box. Another way is through a call to action on your posts, which will be at the bottom. You would say something like, comment below and tell me blank. You'll notice I do this all the time on my social media, especially on Instagram. And then you can also ask these same questions and these same calls to action on a Facebook post or in a Facebook group. And then there's the most powerful form of market research, and that is asking your existing clients, your longtime clients, and doing it in more of an interview format where you're asking someone to maybe hop on a Zoom or a phone call for 10 or 15 minutes so that you can ask them specific questions with necessary follow-up questions to get the information that you need, which is, again, what do they want, when do they want it, and how do they want it, and how can you get the language that they use to use in your copy? Because when someone says to you, and if they haven't yet, they will, which is, oh, she's in my head. How did you know I needed this? And it's not that we're mind readers. It's because we ask and you tell us, and we use that language in our marketing, which is simple, right? You're like, wow, that's actually really easy. Why haven't I been doing this? It's because you really got a plan, and it's not sexy. It's not always fun, but it's a necessity. It's a necessity to grow and scale your business. Now, if you've done any of my programs before, or if you've worked with me, you're not a stranger to market research. And chances are you may have hit some roadblocks in that you find that no one's answering your questions, or they're not giving thoughtful answers. And there's a few reasons why this is likely happening. The first one is that you're not asking questions in an engaging way. Number two would be you're not asking the right questions, or you're not asking questions that people can answer quickly. Because here's the thing, outside of the interview format, when you're asking questions in either a poll, a quiz, a question box, or a call to action, people are very choosy with how they spend their time on social media. They are quick scrolling. They are not going to take the time to sit and answer your market research question. They're just not. They've got better things to do. And as much as they love you, which they do, they just have better things to do, right? So what can we do? We can either, and we should, do both of these things. Number one, make your market research more engaging. Number two, make it easier to answer. So for 2021, let's focus on making market research easy to answer. And I'm gonna take you through two of my favorite ways to do that have been performing exceptionally well for me. The first one is going to be a fill in the blank question. And I'm going to throw some examples up on the screen of some of my posts for you to see these questions at work. What is a fill in the blank question? It's basically you're telling people exactly what to do, and you're giving them prompts to make answering the question easy and not require us to stop and think too hard about it. I combined think and stop into one word, and I was like, thop. Think and stop. Stop and think. So an example of this would be fill in the blank. I would be able to make more money in my business if I knew how to, and I always do the underline, and I make a line that shows I want you to answer this question. And the reason why this is so easy to answer is it takes us back to school, right? When you were a kid and you were doing a word problem and they'd say, answer the question, word problem and a blank, and you would fill it in. So we're really used to doing that. We've done it in school for years and years and years. So these are very easy to answer. And when you give them the prompt and start to answer the question with the, if I knew how to do this, I'd make more money in my business, it gets their mind, it gets the wheels turning of, man, if I knew how to do this and this and this, I could make all this money in my business. So you're answering part of the question for them, which makes it easy for the rest to just flow out of their fingers and onto the keyboard. So when you do a fill in the blank question, it's very easy to answer and it's very quick. And this market research style, especially in my Facebook community, has given me some of the most thoughtful and most impactful answers that I've used in my marketing in 2020, and it's been insanely powerful. And also very simple. And you can do the exact same thing on Instagram. You can even do it with a question box, or you can ask people to DM you with their answer. And I think no matter which way you do it, with this style, you're going to get a lot more answers. The second type we're going to talk about today is the if I, would you, or another way to look at this would be if I, how would this help you? And this style of market research is the most powerful when you're trying to figure out how to facilitate a group, or you're trying to decide, should I make this a course? Should I make this a group program? Should it be one-on-one? And it's basically asking people, how would you like to be helped? How would this help you? Another way this style of market research can help you is, let's say you have people that have been in your DMs for months telling you that they want meal plans. I want meal plans. I want this and that. And then you go to release it and no one's buying. And you're like, what the? That's exactly what you say. You're like, you told me you wanted it and you're not buying it. And here's the thing. When people tell you they want something, they're not taking the time to think about if it would actually help solve their problem. So if you formulate the question of, if I created a meal plan to take you through the winter months, how would that help you accomplish this goal? So you have to know the goal. And you're basically making them think, man, I'm telling her that I want a meal plan. How is that going to help me reach my goal? And through asking that question, you and they collaborating might actually find out that a meal plan is not the answer to their problem. How bizarre. No, it's that people say they want things, but is that really what they need? And this can help you really differentiate between that before you create and release something that people don't actually need or want, or they're not even willing to pay for. So this is going to save you a lot of headaches. Another way to structure this same question is, if I were to release this, would you use it? If I were to release a collection of meal plans priced at $19, would you buy that? Would you pay $19 for that? So this can help you determine pricing. This can help you determine when to release something. This can help you determine market demand. Because if no one's excited about it, well, let's go back to the drawing board and see, am I not communicating it well through my copy? Is this delivery of the solution not actually what people want? Or is there a way that I can tweak, add, or take away things that's going to make this offer more desirable to my ideal client and make it something that they're excited to buy immediately, right? Because you don't want to release something and not have it sell for months. You want it to move right now. So this can really help you do that. So these are my 2 favorite market research tactics to use for the new year to help you not only figure out what your ideal client wants, but what they're willing to pay for and what's actually going to help them get the transformation that they want. If this was helpful, please, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and comment down below which one you're most excited to use. And if you're listening to the podcast, I would love it if you screenshotted this, tag me on stories, and also tell me what other videos and audio podcast episodes you are wanting to see in 2021, because I've got some exciting things on the dock here. Or is it on the docket? What is it? On on the radar, coming in the future, whatever I feel like saying today. But I want to know what's most important to you, what's going to help you in your business, what's going to help you move the needle forward, which if you listened to last week's podcast episode, you already know, but if you skipped that one, go back and listen. But I recently opened my social media and marketing agency. You can check out all of the behind the scenes on our Instagram. I'm going to put it right here. It is Ibanez Media. We are officially opening to the world, to the public, in the new year, in January. But you can get on our wait list to be notified when we're taking on clients. It's going to move quickly, so be sure to watch your inbox and to watch our journey. We have a beautiful office and an amazing growing team, and I cannot wait for you to be on the journey with us. And on a future YouTube video, you're definitely going to see some behind the scenes of our renovation projects, and then of course, once it's fully done, we'll give you a full tour of the place. It's going to be very exciting, and I'm so excited to bring you along for the ride. The link will be down below and also in the show notes. But thanks for listening, and I will see you next week. Turn it on.